We're just okay, and we play some
Movies.
games. We're just okay.
Movie
games.
watchers.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Just Okay Movies. I'm your host, dinosaur fucker BIGGIESIZE, and I'm here with...
Oh, cloned little girl Gweedo.
Yo, 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 what's up? It is experimental dino nasty.
Wait, she's cloned?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You
You
didn't
get
catch
that?
No, I stopped watching about halfway through because I couldn't take it any longer.
What?
But we'll get into that. So that's a shocker to me. Well, guys, how y'all doing?
Oh, boy. I'm all right. How are you doing?
Dude, I'm doing fantastic. I am thrilled to have you guys here, and I'm super excited to talk about this movie I only watched half of. But before we get into it, I do want to talk about one thing real quick.
Mhm.
DC dropped 2 trailers that I've got to say did not make me want to kill myself. And I think that's a big compliment to them. And I just was curious if you guys watched either of them. The first one was the Shazam trailer, which I know nothing of that character. And then they dropped the Aquaman trailer. Do you guys have any thoughts on those?
Nope.
I saw
That's
both
not-
the trailers.
What'd you think of them?
I thought Aquaman was way too heavily CGI'd. It looks kind of trashy. It looks... I'm just not interested in it.
Sure.
I'm not interested in fucking Aquaman, man.
No, I agree.
Shazam looked okay. It looks like a good movie that my daughter would want to see. Because basically a child gets the powers of Shazam, where he can turn into Shazam, which is an adult. It's got that Freaky Friday element to it.
Right.
But it's like they are trying so hard to swing it away from the Zack Snyder universe, or just the feel, the dark feel.
Right.
And it's so transparent to me. Like, I see what they're doing. And
You
it's
don't
like,
like
are they gonna swing too hard now to the opposite direction?
So are you supportive of that, of where they're taking it, or not really?
I think that they need to lighten up the mood and visuals of the universe, but I think I don't know if this is too far. It just seems like a kids movie. Even
Right.
the way that Shazam is dressed looks like a kids movie. It looks like he's wearing like a puffed up suit, like a muscle suit.
Yeah, seriously. It looks like his suit's made of Nerf rubber. Like it looks so crazy. But no, I agree with you there. The first one I saw was Shazam, and honestly, to me it was almost a breath of fresh air. Not even just for DC movies, especially for DC films, but even kind of with Marvel. Like it was kind of a little more fun. Like, even though Marvel films are a lot of fun, but it was kind of a cool, oh yeah, when I was a kid, I would definitely have dreamed for this to happen to me. And in that way, it was kind of enjoyable, and how it took his powers and how he handled them was fun and not necessarily interesting, but it's like, if I was a kid, I would definitely want to do that. So it got me interested, especially before that trailer. I don't know anything about Shazam. I've never heard of him before. So I don't know if that's even close to how it is in the comic, or if they're just we're going a different route with it. I've got no clue. I guess same with Guardians of the Galaxy. I had no idea. I guess in that way, I'm kind of excited because this is just to me, a completely unknown character, and the setting just looks interesting and not brooding and looks like barf. It looks actually appealing. And I've got a soft spot for the old convenience store robbery attempt, and you got the person going in there. I mean, that's just classic, foiling that attempt. And I guess same way with RoboCop. That was always my favorite scene, when he breaks up that robbery at the gas station. And it's just got that stuff in it, him trying to learn how to fly. It's wonderful. With the Aquaman one, I agree. A little heavy on that CGI.
Little. I didn't see one scene where it wasn't all CGI.
Well, The water effects, I like that concept. I really like that.
It looks
idea.
bad though.
But
It doesn't
looks
look good.
But the setting itself is interesting. You know, they're fighting underwater. Like, I could just see them pussing out and them doing like that whole fighting scene, wherever they're like doing some gladiator fight, whatever. See them just doing that inside of one of those buildings underwater, you know, where it's pressurized and just wussing out going that way. At least it has some imagination that, okay, they're all water people. They're sitting in stands underwater. They move real fast. You see the kind of the waves from their movements. I mean, that at least required some forethought and be like, okay, let's do this and make it a little different. Heavily CGI'd, absolutely. But I would say that is a better use of CGI than some other stuff they tried to do in Justice League and all of those. At least it makes sense.
Question.
Yeah.
What is the chances of fish fucking in this movie?
Ooh. I'd say very slim.
Yeah, although it would be great, but yeah, slim. I agree.
So you're saying there's no chance?
Well, what constitutes fish fucking? Anyone that's underwater? Because none of them have like fish bodies.
Yeah, I mean, underwater fucking, I'll take it.
Ooh.
Underwater fucking, yeah, it's possible. I can see them doing a classy, them like
No,
in
I
like
won't
in like
do
the
it.
moonlight underwater, like making out, kind of like the cover of that film that won Best Picture. That kind of concept. What was that called? Something in the water. Or
Shape of water.
Shape of
Shape
water.
of water. Something like that. I can see them doing that. Absolutely.
Fish fucking.
Fish fucking. That sounds great.
That's gonna
But
happen.
I think the only scene I thought was kind of dumb was when they wwere flying through and they did like that big wide shot. It made me think of Black Panther, like in that scene where they're at like what's it called, Wakanda or Arcadia? What was that city called?
Wakanda.
Wakanda?
That's it. It just made me think of that. I'm like, oh, are they going to go for this whole? I guess it is a hidden city underwater, but you know that kind of feels a little too Black Panther. But hell, I guess what are they going to do? You know,
That's
Yeah.
Aquaman though. That he has a hidden city underwater.
right. It just, I guess, you know, that just popped up in my head about the whole hidden city thing. I'm like, do that again. But you're right. There's no way around it. That's his story. That's where he's from and all that stuff. So
I'm gonna put my money on it being bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think,
Like, really
I
bad?
think it will be boring. I could see it being very, very boring and the locations getting very uninteresting. Because even going through that 2-minute trailer, I got bored about halfway through. And I could see the film being slow. Like, oh, they're underwater. Oh, God, I'm so sick of seeing water. it just get visually unappealing. And I don't think the character's that interesting either. I'm not really interested in seeing a 2.5-hour movie of this guy.
Yeah. I made the tweet that it's the underwater level of movies.
Right. I saw that.
And-
That was good.
And like underwater levels are just, you might get to them for the very first time and be like, oh, cool, something to change up the pace. But then 3 minutes in, you're done with it. You
Yeah.
don't want to do it anymore.
You're like, fuck
Right.
this 3D bullshit and trying to fucking swim.
Right. So Shazam, they may be onto something there. It could be a really good one. But I'm with you, Aquaman. I don't know. It may be decent, but I can't see it being very appealing. Although, and maybe you can help me out here. Shazam, isn't that the name of that movie with Shaquille
Yes.
O'Neal where he's
Yes.
a genie? Or is that...
Yeah.
That's what I
What-
thought at first, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, wasn't that movie called Shazam or Kazam or something like that?
Ooh, was it Kazam? I think it was
could
Kazam.
have been. It could have been Kazam, but that's the first thing I thought about. I was like, wasn't that movie called like Shazam?
Yeah,
I want
it's
to watch
Kazam.
that movie.
It's
We need
Kazam?
to-
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We need to set a tier or something. Maybe if we get to so many Twitter followers, we'll watch that movie. That
What-
might be kind
Oh
of fun.
dear.
Isn't Shazam the name of that app where you can find out what songs are playing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Wow,
Does that-
very interesting.
Is this going to be a whole movie about naming the song that's playing the whole time?
Yes. It's
Okay.
name that tune.
Oh.
Biopic.
My favorite game. Name that tune.
Yeah.
I love that game.
Well, very good. Well, have you guys watched any movies this week, or anything you just want to mention real quick that maybe you liked or hated?
I watched Jurassic World this week.
Very good. We'll be getting into that one here in just a second. Guido, did you watch anything?
Shit. I watched a horrible movie on
What one?
Netflix.
Ooh.
Fuck. What is the name of it? It is with David Spade. It's a Happy Madison production.
Oh, no.
Sounds like garbage already.
It's called Father of the Year.
Yeah.
Oh.
Horrible. I've seen it actually. Like part of it. I had to turn it off.
It just came out
Yeah.
on Netflix.
Oh, Father of the Year? Maybe not. There was another one. Never mind. With Adam Sandler.
isn't in this one. It's just David Spade. And it's so full of shit. There's this one scene in it that's a VR scene where his son is trying to get a job with some, environmental company, and the CEO is going to meet them in VR. So David Spade is this redneck fucker, and the kid's like trying to get his life together, and they go and meet him in VR, and David Spade starts freaking out, and it's just like this horrible animation and doesn't make sense. There's no cords going to the headsets. He's running around the office punching people, and it's having effects in the VR. It's just
It's horrible.
So bad.
It's just horrible.
Oh,
Guys,
God.
look what VR is gonna be.
Yeah.
Oh, that does sound bad. Megan and I went and saw the new Mamma Mia film. That was
Was that new?
the one
A
that's
new
out in
version?
theaters. Yes, it's a sequel to the first one.
Oh, Rachel would have wanted to go to see that instead of Jurassic World. We should have done that.
It's okay. I've got to say, it was all right. The problem with this kind of film is they kind of move between them as being like younger when she meets all the guys that's potentially one of the baby daddies.
Yeah, one of the dads.
Right. And the issue is everyone in that film except for Colin Firth is, either a decent, okay actor, and Meryl Streep, but she's kind of in it. But everyone except for Colin Firth is like either a decent actor or a piece of crap.
Mhm.
So it's like anytime he's on the screen, he just like, even it looks like he's barely trying. It just sucks all the talent out of the room. That it's just so noticeable. And it's strange though how that is the case. But he's just so good. And everyone else is just okay. But I know that's kind of not the point of it, but I was just being a little critical of the movie and it bothered me. But the music's good, the acting's okay, the story's all right. If you like the first one, you'll love this one. Megan was like dancing in her chair. She's so excited through every scene. It's okay. If you like it, it's okay.
Yikes. Is Megan in the room with you?
She is not. She's watching TV.
I thought you were being. I thought she was looking at you while you were talking about it.
Glaring at you.
Because
the
there's
whole
no
time.
way it's that good, man.
It's
Come
not.
on.
Oh, it's not. I told her straight up. I was like, it is just okay. It's nothing more than that. If you like the first one, awesome. I didn't. I think we talked about it before. I don't like musicals where they use pre-established music to fit into the scenes because it feels just like that. It's like you look at like Phantom of the Opera or Rent or any of those where someone had to sit down and say, okay, we've made these two characters. We've got to make a song that gets you even more invested in the scene and builds these characters through music. And it becomes very interesting in that way. Whereas, you're taking a song from like 20, 30 years ago, however long, and you're fitting it into a scene as best as you can. And it just doesn't work the same way. It just doesn't, it feels very superficial. It's a superficial musical.
Yeah,
And
that's the first one though.
It is. It's the same as the first one. It's fitting these songs in that some guy was just, trying to make a name for himself by writing this music way back in the 70s into this scene to try to make it fit as well as possible. And it just feels shallow.
The
Except
women
for
and
the
the
performances of
gays,
the
they
music.
love it.
Megan absolutely loves it. She can't talk enough about it. She knows how I feel about it. It's it was tolerable in parts. Some parts were completely intolerable and made me cringe. But overall, it's okay. If you like that stuff, go see it.
I've heard that a problem with it, especially with using the same discography from a single band. Is it ABBA?
ABBA, yeah.
ABBA.
That there were a lot of repeat songs in the second one that were in the first one.
Really?
Yes. Like the
like
Mamma
they played
Mia song.
Fernando and Mamma Mia again, and
right.
it's like,
and especially the Fernando song. It barely fits the scene that it happens in. It just feels weird, especially with the guns part and like the war part. It makes no sense in the scene. It's just the guy's name happens to be Fernando, and that's why they're singing it. And it's just the superficial part, it just feels gross.
sure.
But that it's all right. Well, how about we jump into this little film called Jurassic World? And Nasty, why don't you go ahead and give us just a brief synopsis of Jurassic World? I'm sorry, Fallen Kingdom.
Oh, geez.
Just a brief one. Just hit the high points.
Okay, high points. This is obviously after the first Jurassic World. I think it was 3 or 4 years after the first Jurassic World.
Yeah.
The island in which they left all the dinosaurs on is now an active volcano, and it's about to explode to kill all the dinosaurs. So this guy, who was one of the original founders of Jurassic Park, hired this other guy to run his company for him. Very sly devil, I must say. And he has hired the chick, I forget her name, and the dude, I forget his name, and a couple of other people to go save the dinosaurs on the island. They go to the island, they save some dinosaurs. Lo and behold, sly devil dude is selling these dinosaurs on the black market.
What?
And not only that,
Who saw that coming?
Not only that, he's creating a whole new dinosaur with the scientists from Jurassic Park that's the best of all of the dinosaurs. So,
What?
yeah, just super deadly. That can't absolutely go wrong.
Right.
So they barely get off of the island on a ship. They do some bull riding on a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And then when they get there, they get thrown into a cell. They break out of the cell. The big, huge, scary dinosaur gets out halfway through the auctions and kills all the people that are auctioning to buy it. And good old Blue, the raptor from the first Jurassic World, comes back and saves everybody. And then runs away. And that's where we left. All the dinosaurs are in the wild in the United States right now.
Right. All of the dinosaurs being roughly about 20 dinosaurs.
Yeah, yeah. All of the ones that they rescued are loose. Except for the experimental one. It died by skewering itself on a fossil.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Good. Sounds like I didn't miss much.
No, everything was very, very predictable.
Okay, good. Except for that cloning thing. I did not see that coming.
That was kind of just thrown in there.
Yeah, it looked like it was meant to be a bigger part of the story, but then at the end of it, it didn't really mean anything, right? Is that how you felt too, Gweedo?
Yeah, there's this little girl who's the granddaughter.
No, it's his daughter.
No fucking way, dude.
It's a clone of his daughter.
It is. I know it's a clone of his daughter, who was also his nanny. Was the clone?
No,
That's what I gathered.
No.
I gathered that the nanny was a clone too.
No, so the nanny was the nanny for his daughter the first time. Then when his daughter died, he cloned her, and the nanny was still the same nanny for his cloned daughter.
Oh,
but said that it was his granddaughter because of how young she was, and that her mom died in a tragic accident that nobody knows anything about, and they don't ever talk about it.
Yeah, they don't talk about it at all,
or talk about her. And that whenever Grandpapa is reading about her mom, the granddaughter can never look.
They just had that girl in the movie to follow the formula of Jurassic Park movies to have a child so that the kids watching it relate to something and it's not just a bunch of adults selling dinosaurs on the black market.
Yeah.
And that's the most interesting part of the movie. Like, I want to see that movie. Why are we... Oh my God, this film bored me to tears. And I was so pumped for it too. I have not watched the first one. I did not give two shits about the very first Jurassic World. But then when I saw the trailer for the second one with the volcano and the T-Rex like yelling and all that shit, I was like, okay, this looks kind of a little more interesting. I think I could get down with this.
Did you watch the first one or no?
No, I didn't. I
You need to watch the first one to understand what's going on in the second one. Because
I feel
the
like
the return dinosaurs are like this kind of stars of an additional star of the movie, I guess you could say. Not like the star.
Gotcha. I will go ahead and start out and saying, and just so you understand where I'm coming from, listener and you guys, like, I do not like Jurassic Park, like the franchise or anything. As a kid, I never enjoyed them. I guess I just never really had any, I don't know.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Biggie?
I did not like them. I thought they were just kind of boring. The first one was boring. The only thing I liked was like the T-Rex scene, the iconic T-Rex scene. That was just a really cool scene. But the rest of it, all even the sciencey talk, which I love science fiction a lot, but I just found it so boring. The only thing that got me through that first one was Newman and that T-Rex scene. And other than that, that was all I was interested in.
Hey, there's a T-Rex scene in basically every single Jurassic Park.
Right.
And
so you at least have that to look forward to.
That's true. But everything else, I never liked them. I never wanted to watch them. But this one, I don't know. Something about the trailer got me interested. And when I started hearing it was terrible, I was like, okay, this could be like a good like schlock, off the rails Jurassic Park movie that I'm interested in, maybe.
Nope.
And
Chuck Testa.
Nope. It's awful. No one looked like they wanted to be there. The people who looked like they wanted to be there were awful, i.e. the computer science kid and the doctor girl. Chris Pratt looked like between scenes he was making sure the check he got hasn't bounced. The girl looked like she wanted to get back to her trailer and take a nap. And the guy who, the old guy sitting in the bed, who is a fantastic actor. I don't remember his name. He played
Ethan
Zephyr
something.
Cochrane. Yeah, that's it. He plays Zephyr Cochrane in Star Trek. That's the only way I remember him.
James.
Is that his name, James?
I'm James. I'm trying to pull it from memory. I can't.
Well,
think of
he
it.
could. He's a fantastic actor. He could outact anyone in the film. From the scenes
and he
I
just
saw,
gets killed off.
Is that what I figured?
He gets killed off
when
in a
he confronts
goddamn
him.
fucking pillow kill scene. Like, come on, you could have come up with a better way to kill him.
Is that really how he dies? They smother him with a pillow?
Yeah, he smothers him with a pillow and then tells the daughter, Grandpapa has died. I'm so sorry, but you can't see him.
Was she an old Asian person?
Really the only person I found interesting in the whole film was the little girl. At least she wasn't awful, but at least she did something that was kind of neat, at least from the parts I saw. But even then, that's just me reaching. But about halfway through, I thought they would be on that island and it would be kind of like a time thing. Like, okay, we've got so much time before the volcano erupts. We've got to save all these people. Like, okay, that sounds like a fun time. But after they got on the boat, I'm like, oh my God, they just showed that just to sucker me in. They're like, let's show the best part. And we're going to leave it not even a quarter of the way into the film.
I felt like a quarter of the way into the film, that was the trailer. Like, the trailer was the first 25% of the fucking movie.
You're totally right. How do you top a volcano erupting and killing dinosaurs? You can't top that. I'm like, this island they're going to, it needs to be some kind of like battle royale where they just drop all of them in and all of them, the dinosaurs have to like, decide who's going to be the top dinosaur. Like, okay, they could maybe top it there, but of course not. They're just going to let them out and fuck all. And, you can't top a volcano that is like burning dinosaurs. That should be the end of the film.
True.
Yeah, I was on board for the first bit of it until they got off the island. As I think most of the audience was, because it was the most compelling part of the whole movie.
Right, like save the fucking dinosaurs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Save the dinosaurs. Don't. And then the rest of the fucking movie takes place in a mansion.
Yeah. It in fucking North Carolina or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's just in a mansion. It's like, okay, well, we already put the deposit down on the mansion, and we have it for
the week,
six of the 7 weeks that we're filming the movie.
Also,
they really pigeonholed themselves into that fucking mansion.
Yeah. Also, the rooms that kept appearing and parts of the mansion that kept appearing like throughout the movie were kind of frustrating. And it was like,
yeah,
okay, so now all of a sudden this fucking mansion has 6 loading docks in the basement. Where the fuck were those in the first fucking scene that we saw?
yeah.
Like, I get that it's big, but like all of a sudden now it's built into a hill and there's fucking loading docks to pull these fucking dinosaurs out of and put them in these fucking cages that are on the 3rd basement level or some shit like that.
Yeah, apparently the architect of that mansion was Doctor Who.
Yeah,
because
it was a goddamn skyscraper sunk halfway in the fucking ground.
Right, and it's like the main guy who's apparently innocent in all this. His name's James Cromwell.
That's right.
Old ass guy. Who's innocent in all this. He doesn't know about the selling of the dinosaurs. He just wants to save them.
Right.
He doesn't know that he has like 3 sub-layer basements to his mansion with cages to hold dinosaurs.
Right.
Oh my
like,
lord.
He hasn't been around his whole house in fucking years or heard any of the construction that's going on, just below his feet.
Now, was he actually in the original Jurassic Park films?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. That's why I was
Okay.
like, they're really stretching here to like pull out old story and pull it into this fucking series.
Yeah, I think he was like the silent partner for the other guy.
Yes.
The welcome to Jurassic Park guy.
Yeah.
The guy who had the amber stuff and all that.
Yeah, he was the guy that had the money, I think.
Gotcha.
And the other one was the guy that had the idea.
I think he was into science, the science side of it too.
Sure.
Is what he said.
You gotta be.
Because, I mean, he fucking cloned his daughter,
See, now that is a cool plot point, and it sucks that they kind of fucked that up. I wasn't sure because it kind of came across, at least in his acting, he was like in the previous films, or maybe people who are really into Jurassic Park were like, oh my god, he's back, or something like that, because he didn't seem like he wanted to be there, and it almost looked like they just brought the camera into his actual house to film those scenes when he's sitting in bed, but he's just like, oh, fuck them, they'll watch it. I'm been in all the other films. That kind of like cameo thing you start seeing when they start bringing people way back from the past. But that's even more strange that he would decide to do that role. I guess the paycheck was nice.
Yeah, money's money. It's a major AAA title.
It just seems like they went so lazy. Like the first one, I mean, I'm still not a fan, but I've heard it's good, especially if you're a Jurassic Park fan. And it made bank. I think it made over $1 billion, all world included. I think it did really well in China, probably more so than here. But it was a big hit. And going and watching this, there's just so many areas that are just baffling. It just looks so lazy. It's like, normally you ramp things up either visually or story wise, one or the other. You ramp it up. You have your the Empire Strikes Back moment, and this one just did not. even feel close. Like it felt so lifeless. And it's just shocking that it just felt like they didn't care. Like they're like, we'll just pump anything Jurassic related and it's going to make $1 billion. And maybe they're not wrong. You know, I don't say they're definitely not wrong there, but it's just so apparent that it's revolting.
Yeah. I have a lot of beef with the crossbred dinosaur that's in the movie. I forgot the name of it. What's the name? Do we know what the name of that dinosaur was?
Is it the one that they were making for like war?
Yeah. So
yeah, I can't remember.
In the first movie, they crossbred like a T-Rex and a raptor.
Right.
And then in this movie, they took that, whatever the result of that was, and
added something else.
They crossbred it with a raptor.
yeah, that was weird. Cause like, wasn't this the plot of the first one? That they did some crossbreeding and their whole crossbreed part didn't make a lot of sense. Like they just put two of them together and it made like a super dangerous one. Like how does that work?
It wasn't raptor enough, so we had to add more raptor.
Right.
Guys, I'm looking for adding a little bit more raptor to it.
Yeah.
And it's
the last one went about 80-20 T-Rex raptor. I want to flip that.
Yeah, right. I just want a big raptor. That's all I want.
Yeah, that walks on all fours and has use of its front hands.
Right, front hands and big front claws too. And the little ticking noise that it fucking makes in the goddamn fucking floor every time that it fucking goes anywhere.
So the whole purpose of creating this dinosaur was to weaponize it.
Yes.
Which now let me hold on. Let me explain.
Oh my god.
Let me explain how they weaponize. Did you get this far, Biggie?
Oh no, I was done.
Okay. Let me explain how they weaponize this monster. So
wait, Gweeds, can I make a suggestion on how to weaponize it?
Please.
We should treat it like we treat our missiles.
Ooh, yeah. Like a sonic missile?
Do you have any ideas here?
Okay, how about this? We'll make this a super dangerous, aggressive dinosaur.
Okay.
And we'll have it react to sonic waves, like sound.
Okay,
sound
but
good?
How will you tell it what to attack though?
That's a good question, and I have it all figured out. So you're gonna take what looks like an assault rifle. And it has a laser sight on it. Oh. You're gonna turn the laser sight on. You're gonna point the assault rifle at the person that you want it to attack, and then pull the trigger. And then it will shoot off a sonic wave, and the dinosaur will attack the person.
Oh my fucking god.
So question, what happens if somebody else just happens to get their hands on a laser pointer?
Well, the laser pointer doesn't follow it focuses on the laser, but it's the sonic sound waves that hit it that make it go for that. For the target.
What if I have another sonic sound wave maker?
Well, that's, we're working on the bugs here, but,
Oh, so what you're saying is it's not ready to be sold?
No, it's a prototype.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to sell it then.
Oh. Also, hey, I'm this other guy over here. Hey, welcome. I've been listening to this conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, why don't you just put a bullet in the gun and shoot the guy?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Instead of sending a dinosaur.
I really don't know. But Gweedo, this is an auctioneer guy. I got a question for you.
Oh, hey, auctioneer. Yeah, I got an answer.
How much are you selling that for?
Well, it's a prototype. It's not for sale.
Because $100 million in a day is peanuts to me.
Oh, well, how about, okay, I understand that. How about $4 million?
Oh, okay, perfect. Sounds good.
I did see that. Is that the scene with the short little guy? And that was kind of like Peter Dinklage's dad or something?
Right.
It was...
Yeah, that was a weird negotiation. I'm like, these numbers don't make sense. Like, because I kind of thought for a second, like, did he say a lower number? And the other guy's like, oh, that's good. Like,
yeah.
Like, what? Hold on.
Oh, okay. $4 million then. Sounds good. All right, moving on. don't pay attention to that.
Right. It was just the whole auctioning. There's like rich people there that want to buy dinosaurs.
Those are the
Like,
Russians.
But there were even like glamorous, just rich people, you know,
Right.
with their wives.
Yeah.
And some like they were giving off little bios on what the dinosaurs could do. So they'd get like a triceratops, and they'd be like, "Oh, this would be good for like agricultural uses and whatnot." I'm like, why are you spending $4 million fucking dollars on a triceratops when you can buy a goddamn John Deere tractor for $20,000?
Damn, why wasn't this in the middle of the film? This sounds good. Like,
No,
this is
it's
what
not
they
good.
needed. I'm sure you'd probably make it sound way better than it really was, but
It was silly, to say the least.
It was silly and frustrating. And then like,
Yes.
okay, they're buying dinosaurs, and now they got to transport them to Mother Russia and
Right.
like get them across the world in these little crates, and it's just so bad.
Yeah, it just, I don't know. It didn't make a ton of sense to me. Any of it.
and
And
can
then
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Guido.
why did Chris Pratt and that bitch go there?
I don't know.
Did they ever like? What are they gonna do? It's in America, and because I ask this because they get to a point where they have a button in front of them, and they can set them all free, or they can
Right.
let them all die to like some poisonous gas. And she makes a conscious decision to let them all die.
Smart move.
Let all
Smart
the
lady.
dinosaurs die. So, regardless of what happens after that, what was the point of them going there? What was the point of them going there?
Right.
Remember she ran a Save the Dinosaurs campaign?
Yeah.
I think it was because she wanted to save the dinosaurs. Like, she
Oh.
wanted to fulfill her campaign to other people
Yeah.
to save the dinosaurs.
She wanted to save the dinosaurs up until the very point where she consciously decided not to save the dinosaurs.
Yeah, yeah. They're a nuisance now, so now I can get rid of them.
Right. So beyond that, after she makes that decision, they're like, okay, well, wrap it up. Time to go home. The little girl sneaks up from behind and hits the button that releases all the dinosaurs into the world.
Yeah, that
Nice.
And they
I
made
like
it
that.
seem like this big event. Like, uh-oh, well, no turning back from
no.
this. The dinosaurs are out. But if you're watching it, it's like fucking 15 dinosaurs.
right.
They're going to like instantly start mating. They're just going to start multiplying by the second.
Yeah. It was just such a frustrating movie to watch.
Yeah.
So
it
they
really
let.
was.
So the dinosaurs are in America, and that's where they get let out from.
Yep.
Yeah.
North Carolina, I think.
Huh.
what they
Right.
said.
Into the forest.
Yep.
Interesting. And I
It
would
was-
assume they would still have the trackers in them, so they shouldn't have that much of a problem tracking them down. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Oh, yeah, because they did make a point of saying, hey, Bryce Dallas Howard, you're the only fucker that knows the tracking codes for these things. That's why we need you.
Better track them down.
Right.
We need you to go back onto the island because nobody else knows the system besides you guys.
Yeah, we have
Sweet
no
Jesus.
you, the administrative like operations manager.
Yeah.
Come onto the compound and hack into the system, please.
By the way, just thinking about it, like, can we talk about how the first 30 seconds, first 3 minutes of the movie foreshadowed the whole fucking thing, and I could have stopped watching there, where those dudes are on the island trying to steal a bone from T-Rex underwater, and then the fucking giant ass water dinosaur thing escapes into the ocean.
Right. Yeah. So there's a megalodon in the ocean now.
Just swimming around. No big deal.
Oh my god.
Ugh.
And they only
Disney,
need
what the fuck?
I don't know.
This isn't Disney, is it?
No, it's is it Paramount or Universal? I can't remember.
I
Who
think
owns
it's
the
Universal
license.
because Universal Studios.
Oh, yeah,
has
Universal
Theme
did this.
park.
ride.
That's right. Yeah, they really cashed in quite a bit of their goodwill on this one. And maybe not. I don't know. I don't really know how well the film did. I'm sure it did great overseas. It's just shocking to me how bad it is for a much anticipated sequel. Uh, it's just flat out boring. Like it's so
Yeah.
for a movie about dinosaurs, as many interesting plot points it has, it's so gosh darn boring. And I could not believe it when sitting down and watching it. And I have the hardest time recommending this film to anyone. I mean, maybe if you're a hardcore Jurassic Park fan, I'm sure you'll get something out of it.
Even
And
then, it's not good because
It's not
like,
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it's taking what you're familiar with and changing it just enough so that it becomes this uncanny valley of a movie series where they're mutating dinosaurs and weaponizing them and having black market auctions and shit in a mansion. It's Jurassic Park because there's dinosaurs, but that's where it ends.
Right. And the dinosaurs aren't even in half of it. Right? Like while they're in the mansion, there's just bones around. Like they could just basically be in a fucking museum for that part.
Interesting.
I don't
Well,
know. The one thing that I liked about the first Jurassic World is there was still a world. There was still an island. There was still dinosaurs. There was still a theme park idea. You know, there was still that. I feel like we're reliving the whole Jurassic Park series just with Jurassic World, where they brought the dinosaurs to LA on a boat in that same fucking T-Rex cage, and now they're fucking out in the world, and they're gonna have to go back and catch them and then put them back in their cage and then send them back off to some other place.
Yeah.
Dean. Well, I'm curious. I'm guessing you guys have seen all the Jurassic Park films. Am I
Yes.
right to assume that?
Yeah.
Would you consider this to be the worst one out of all of them?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm curious. What would be the second worst one? Or before this one came out, what was
Oof.
considered to be the worst one? I know I hear a lot of flack about the second one.
Yeah, the Lost World, Jurassic Park, I think
Right.
it's called.
Right.
That one is pretty bad because there's scenes in it that are like this where it just doesn't make sense. But at least it was real dinosaurs. And you got Jeff Goldblum who carries the movie. But he has there's a scene in it where his black daughter
Is that the gymnastics scene?
Yeah, does gymnastics to escape a bunch of raptors.
See, I think that's the only one I liked. Or at least it was just that scene. I thought was pretty cool as a kid.
Was that the one that started out with the trailers? Like they were in trailers, or was that Jurassic Park 3?
Well, I can't remember. I know 2 was all Goldblum, and 3
Yeah.
was all Sam Neill, where Sam Neill goes back to Jurassic Park. But 3 has some good scenes in it where they're running away from the dinos in a big field and shit.
And they just get wrecked.
specifics. Yeah, they get their plane crashes there, I think, right?
Yeah. Okay,
It's
so
been so
yes,
long since I
we're
watched this.
seriously following the exact same fucking trajectory of Jurassic Park, just with new fucking cast.
Yeah.
Because in the Jurassic Park 2, don't they catch them and bring them back to LA?
Yep. Yeah, it's a King Kong scenario.
Right.
And Jeff Goldblum's like, yo, don't do this.
Yes, and he's saying it now again in this fucking movie.
Right. And nobody listens to him.
Yes. So does that mean that the next Jurassic World that comes out, we're going to be going back to the island to see
Ooh,
what's
maybe.
living there?
Maybe.
Fucking hope not. Sam
So-
Neill's going to be there too on the fucking island, probably.
So, what would you consider to be the best one? I'm
first
going to
one.
assume the
The
first,
first, by
one.
far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
And then-
original. It was new. There was a great plot, I think, to it. It was a little but it was still pretty solid.
I also saw it at a perfect age of 11, I think I was when that movie came out. 12 maybe.
Right.
So I saw it at the greatest age to watch a Jurassic Park movie, especially that first one,
Right.
where everything looked astounding. You know, it held up, and it holds up to this day.
It does. Well, that's because they used real animatronics for a lot
Right.
of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think from remembering the film, the ones I remember the most being kind of freaked out was the T-Rex scene, but also when I think the one that freaked me out the most was when the car's like stuck in like a tree or something.
Stuck in, upside
Yep.
down.
Yeah, that freaked me out a lot as a kid. You know, there were a lot of really neat visuals in that film. I gotta give it credit for that. You know, I definitely see that. No doubt, seeing that one being the classic. Even maybe I was just too young. Maybe I don't know. Maybe just dinosaurs never really hit a spot for me. But I could definitely appreciate those very iconic scenes, and just disappointing where the series has gone to this depth, I guess you could say. Well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, let's go ahead and rank this guy.
Oh,
so, if
geez.
you're listening here, you can go to justokmovies.com. About midway down the page, you can click on a link that'll take you to our JOKM top films of all time list, and you can follow along with us as we discuss where to put this film. So, I was looking at this list a little bit ago, and I would consider putting it below Rogue One and above Adventures of Baron Munchausen. Well, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna redo that. Talk about this film's really pissed me off. So I'm actually gonna put this film a step lower, because I will watch Baron Munchausen again. No, actually, I'm gonna put it even lower than that, because I like Batman and Robin. I'm actually gonna put this below. I'm gonna put this below Baby's Day Out.
Ooh, that's
I would
exactly
watch-
where I'm putting it.
Yeah, I would watch Baby's Day Out again, easy, before I would watch this. At least I got something out of that movie.
Yeah, and I would not watch Dungeons and Dragons, even though I didn't watch it once, because I watched the second Dungeons and Dragons instead.
Dude, that was classic, man. I love that.
But I would put it below Baby's Day Out, above Dungeons and Dragons. So third from the last, above Dungeons and Dragons, and above Battlefield Earth.
Agreed. I'll go with you there. What do you think, Guido?
I'm gonna put it just a little bit higher. I can't, in good conscience, say that Baby's Day Out is a better movie.
It's funnier. It kept me
It's not
entertained.
funny.
It's
It
way
kept me
more
entertained.
For all its faults, Jurassic World: The Fallen Kingdom, or whatever it's called, it did capture me for that first 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah,
And
That's
that was the trailer.
Yeah.
if there's anything, I would want more of that. And there's some cool parts to that bit, but the rest is just trash. So yeah, I like that more than any part of Baby's Day Out.
Really.
Yeah.
Trashing your own fucking movie.
Oh, what was better? The first 20 minutes of Baby's Day Out, or the skyscraper scene where a baby's just walking on a skyscraper?
Hey,
It's
give me-
pretty fun.
give me fucking 22 years, 24 years of advancements and make a new Baby's Day Out, and I bet you it would be fantastic.
Yeah.
That movie's
Okay.
24 years old. We're comparing a movie in 2018 to a movie in 1994.
People do that all the time. You can
and
compare
2000.
movies.
It's just fucking yeah, okay. I'm not gonna argue this with you.
Didn't Jurassic Park come out a year before Baby's Day Out?
It had to be close.
Yeah.
So I don't know what. Like, I don't see
93.
why the date of a movie being made has anything to do with comparisons. To
We should have
quality.
learned something about storytelling in 24 years is all I'm trying to say.
I would agree. That's why it just feels like it's an abuse of power. You know, they just didn't fucking care. They were just ready for a paycheck.
Yeah.
You guys are looking at Baby's Day Out with some rose tinted glasses.
Sure am.
It's a decent movie. It's entertaining.
Get the fuck out.
It's an entertaining movie. In the most subjective level, it is entertaining. I actually sat and watched the whole thing, and there are parts that were a little boring, but I watched the whole thing. I couldn't make it much further into Jurassic World. That's got to say something, at least for why I'm going to rate something.
You stopped watching Ready Player One.
Yeah, I can't believe you stopped watching that.
Oh yeah, that movie was even worse. Why did I put
What?
that? Yeah, no, it wasn't worse. I'm being hyperbolic there. Yeah, I couldn't keep. No, I did finish Ready Player One. I think. Yeah, because I remember the ending. I didn't like it at all, but I will say it is way better than Jurassic World.
Okay, I think we got a good position. If you guys want to put it below Baby's Day Out, that's fine.
Thanks.
Awesome. That sounds great. So we have a new, let's see, that'd be number 16, I believe, on our list is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Well, hey, if you want to give us your thoughts on our discussion of Jurassic World, or maybe the DC trailers we talked about, shoot us an email at justokmovies@gmail.com. If you also want to leave us a voicemail, go straight to justokmovies.com. On the page there, you can find our voicemail number. I'd love to get another one. We've only gotten one. Come on, fellas. Send us some voicemails. I love hearing them. And also shoot us a tweet at justokmovies. And thank you so much for joining us. Hey, love you guys. Gweedo, Nasty, thank you so much for joining me. We discussed this film, had a lot of fun. And we'll be coming right back with you with another episode next week. All right, take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.